So the first thing you want to do is get geared up. So Vanessa's going to put her helmet on. She's going to make sure it fits good. So she's using the small helmet, which usually we use the red helmet. But she's using a small one because it fits better. So she's going to tighten it, but it doesn't have to be too tight to where it's choking her. And then she's going to wiggle her head to see if it feels alright. And now she's going to put on her harness. You want the red loop with the carabiner in the front, and you'll put your legs through the little holes. You may have to loosen it up a little bit. And then she's gonna tighten it using the string, that little thing, and tighten it. And then she has slack. She's gonna have to put it through the loop. You don't want a lot of the stuff hanging down, the straps. There are tighteners around both of the legs and the waist, and there's also strap holders on both the legs and the waist. So now let's do a spin so we can see. Looks good, looks good. Here is gonna inspect our rope. He just has a basic knot. What you need to do is tie your knots. Jackson is gonna do the bullet on the bite. This is a tongue teeth tonsil. He's gonna pull the tonsils through. And then he's going to do his stopper. He's going to tighten his stopper, and he's going to show us the knot so we see what it looks like. Second choice of knot you have is the double figure 8. He's going to do a stopper. Now, if your stopper seems to be a little bit far, do a 2-finger rule. You can always just easily slide this up by pulling this and pushing this down in both of the knots.
Okay, so this is the belay device we're using. The little green lever here is an important part when we're setting it up. So we're going to press this silver button here to open up the belay device. So there's 2 different pictures. It's on the outside and on the inside. So the climber picture right there is going to be the rope entering in because it's attached to the climber, and then it's out with the little hand there. And then you're going to close it. So there's 2 different ways you can hold this. It's dependent on what your dominant hand is. So if your dominant hand is left-handed, you're going to put it on like this, and the green lever is going to be facing away from you. If you're right-handed, which I am right-handed, the green lever is going to be facing towards you. The hand movements are the same for left-handed or right-handed, it's just the dominant hand is doing the motions. So to begin off belaying today, we have Jackson using our puppy ears, which is just coiling the rope, and he's going to keep a smile in the rope, which will help if Sierra falls and I fail at my duties, and then she can only fall this one out. So before we begin, we're going to do the 4H2, which helmet. Okay, so you don't have the helmet strap, you got to do that, and you're a little bit on your head. So you got to make sure your straps are also all tight. But you have to go back a little bit more on your straps. And then there's the 2-finger rule around on your waist and your legs. So it can be a little tighter. A lot tighter. And then make sure the elastic goes back as well once it's tight. Okay, so the next page is going to be hardware. So I'm going to go like this, and she's going to... Okay, so the next one is head to toe. So her helmet is all good now, so it's all tight and everything. So another thing to check is make sure their shoes are tied, which I tend to have problems with. So now that we're ready to climb, she's going to start doing her commands.
Belay team ready?
We're all set. Feel ready.
Climbing.
Climb on. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're locked off with your left hand. Your left hand's never actually going to leave the rope. So your movement is going to be up, down, reach, slide, up, down, reach, slide. And you're going to do that through the whole entire thing. And that's the general movement you're going to be doing. So she's going to climb up the wall a little bit, and then we're going to go through the next step, which is going to be slack and up rope. So we're going to go through slack right now. So your climber's going to say slack, and then this little silver button here you're going to press, and then you're going to slowly get slack. It's going to help to keep crouch down, and then make sure they have slack. And then for up rope, your climber's going to say up rope, and then you're going to do the same movement you do in order when the climber is going up. And then she's going to continue climbing up the wall. And through this whole thing, Jackson's keeping a smile and he's making sure he's doing the puppy dog ears. So if the rope does go tight, it won't cross circulation to his fingers. When should I stop? What? When should I end? You can stop.
Here we want you to remember that you should never walk under anyone's rope.
Falling! Both hands on the knot. It's an important thing that you need to do. Another thing that we're adding this year is when she's doing that, I have to have locked off on both of my hands. So right now, if you look up at her, she's got both hands on the knot, and I'm gonna reach my left hand up to this green lever, and there's a little sweet spot, and then slowly let her come down. You're good.
Recognize how Sierra is walking down the wall and she is not flailing her legs like she is right now. That's a no-no. But just remember to walk down the wall nice and gently.
Also notice how Jessica had a very stance position.
Here's some tips and tricks when you're rock climbing.
So the number one thing we want you to remember is to keep your eye on the climber, whether you're the lead belayer with the belay device or the guy on the side holding the puppy dog ears in the slack. So we always just want you to watch them in case if they have an accidental fall where their hands give out or their legs give out and they're unaware of giving the falling command to you guys. So you always have to pay attention because accidents do happen. And the other thing we want you to remember is to always have a good athletic stance. So if you're the lead belayer, all your weight will be pulled up like this, so you can kind of sit down, not sit down, but
your knees bent just a little bit.
Yep. And then always be prepared. Don't just stand there and just not be prepared for anything. If you're with this stance, shoulder width apart, in an athletic stance, you'll have a lot more control of how the climber comes down.
So some other things to remember is that you are taking a smart risk. Carl will go over the exact definition of that in your class, but basically there's things in place to make sure that accidents, if they do happen, do not become a catastrophe. So that whole smile on the rope is very important because if somebody does fail, there is a backup system in place. Another thing to keep in mind is you are in an environment that does change a lot. You have a bunch of high schoolers around, they do random things. Also, the walls are not the newest things in the world, and sometimes rocks can come loose, whether you're indoor or outdoor. So make sure you tell Harlan about loose rocks so he can get those fixed.
Thank you and have a fun time and safe time